Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you wherever and whenever you are joining us. Welcome to our latest edition of What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. As always, I'm your host, the coach Nick Vesci, joined by the boy Stephen Vesci.
What up?
And the man, Stephen Conlow. Now, if you're new to our show, we like to think of ourselves as the sports show for sports fans about sports. We like to focus on what happens inside the lines of competition rather than the outside TMZ-like noise that you see quite often nowadays. Before we get into our top catch for the evening, just a reminder to follow us on all of our socials. That's on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at UCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. Now, without further ado, we get into our top catch for the evening. This week, we went with the Army-Navy game. I had America's game, more so than anything else. It's great that they block off the FBS schedule so that this is the only game at that level happening on that date, right? Because it deserves...
In that time slot. They did play Boise State, Washington.
They did have, yes, which is new. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
In our life.
I didn't like that.
Yeah. Well, but we digress. So, Army-Navy took place, I believe, in Baltimore. It was the 125th meeting between the two academies, honoring the 250th year of the Army and the Navy, respectively, and the special jerseys reflected that as well. During the game was an extremely entertaining game, I thought. It wasn't your best played game, but it was one of those games that had all these different twists and turns and exciting moments and things in competitiveness and hard nose and grit and like just playmaking. It had all the things that you ask for in a football game. Ultimately,
especially an Army-Navy game.
Exactly. Yes. Ultimately, Navy beat Army 17-16 thanks to Blake Horvath's touchdown pass to Eli Heidenreich on 4th and goal late in the fourth quarter, about 6.5 minutes left in the final stanza. He completed that, though, after Heidenreich recovered Horvath's fumble that was on the goal line 2 plays prior that bounced around. That would have, that's one of those, we talked about it before. There's oftentimes one play or sometimes 1 or 2 plays that can make the difference in the game. We talked about that Notre Dame-Miami game at the beginning of the year, that crazy catch the guy had. That is honestly the most impactful catch of the entire college football season, right? It's crazy to think about that. But this play here fit that bill. So
there's two plays. The ball's got to bounce your way sometimes. Sometimes you got to get lucky.
Yeah.
Horvath is going for basically a tush push, QB sneak, whatever you want to call it, on the goal line. And the Army linebacker leaps over the line, times his punch perfectly, punches the ball out. And an Army D lineman is literally looking at open field for 100 yards. No one from him. And before you want to criticize him for not falling on the ball, I think he did the right thing. Right? If he picks that up, right? Teska, the fullback, who forces the fumble or knocks the ball free, he's not going to catch him. The only person that has a shot is Heidenreich, who is obviously fast as all get out. But if you break that tackle, you're gone, and you end the game. You run back a fumble 99 yards to the house, and you end the game. So before someone wants to roast him for not jumping on the ball, what followed is pretty remarkable as well. Yeah. So he gets the ball, and Alex Teska, the fullback, is desperately and just barely swipes it, knocks the ball free, and then Heidenreich comes from the other side of the line, beats an Army player to the ball, and falls on it on about the 8-yard line to maintain possession for Navy. And ultimately, from that spot is where they convert that 4th down that Heidenreich catches. That play, and what are you going to say, boy? Is it the fumble that Horvath brought back in?
Something that would, I know Nick would break his controller playing video games if that happened to him. He'd say, no, that's not realistic. That's garbage. I'm going to start over. And then he'd break it, and then I would sit there and go, now I can't play, because that's what Nick did all the time. No, that play is that play is absurd. Sometimes you gotta get lucky. Sometimes you gotta be lucky to be good, and but also great concentration, great skill to go catch it, and then also lunge for the 1st down. That was an incredible play by Horvath.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I do want to bring up Heidenreich more, though. I truly believe Heidenreich is one of the best receivers in the entire country.
But
I mean,
they
look at his
the
ability
who was
to.
Gary Danielson?
Mhm.
He was saying that he's gonna get a shot at the NFL.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if he did. He's again truly one of the best receivers in college football. If he played on a different school, he's putting up, I think, crazy numbers, like stuff that you would see these guys at some of these other schools that throw the ball around, like in North Texas. He'd be putting up crazy numbers. He's that good of a player. He had, or he is, I don't know if you know this, he's the Naval Academy's single season and career leader in receiving yards. That school's
I
been
did not
around
know
a
that.
while, a
Wow.
long time, but obviously they don't throw a lot, but still that's very impressive. In that game, he had 6 catches for 72 yards in the aforementioned game-winning touchdown we just said, to go along with 5 carries for 28 yards. So he had, what's that? That's 100 all-purpose yards on 11 touches and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And your
My
most
dad
important
was saying that
game.
some of these Navy guys will probably get the Roger Staubach treatment, where they'll graduate, they'll do their 4 years in, and they'll have a desk job that allows them a lot of time to work out, stay loose, and get reps before they have a shot to go into the pros.
Yeah, I mean, or they'll do. I think long snapping great Joe Cardona had kind of a deal where he was essentially reserves for his playing career, and then once his playing career was done, he was going to be active duty. I believe is what his kind of deal was, or something like that. But I could see that. Yeah, Heidenreich is a legit stud. Landon Robinson just was named first team All American defensive lineman for Navy, which is amazing.
That's incredible.
He was really good in that game, but arguably the other guy, I want to say his last name is Willis, the other D tackle, was even better in that game for the midshipmen. It's the second straight win over Army for Navy, and they claimed the Commander-in-Chief's trophy for the second straight year. I want to read a quote here from quarterback Blake Horvath, if you'll let me. This was after the game, after there's a little scuffle, kind of a tizzy at midfield after the final kneel down. Horvath said, and I quote, "They want to talk all their crap during the game and act like they're so tough. The excuse last year was that they played a conference championship game before us. This year, we'll see what it is."
Yeah, this year Army had an extra week off while Navy didn't, right?
No, they both did.
No, they both had the
Okay.
same.
Yeah, well,
But no,
that's really funny. I mean,
I
that's
thought
like,
so.
ball don't lie. Ball
Isn't
don't lie.
Horvath?
Hilarious.
What's his I guess job description coming out of here?
Commission. I have this here actually. Heidenreich will take his commission in the Marines, I believe, also with Alex Teska. I think they went to high school together, believe it or not. I believe they said so. I think they're both going into the Marines. And Horvath will be assigned to a helicopter sea combat squadron.
Sweet.
So he'll be an officer that sits at a desk and monitors the flight patterns of the helicopter.
You think? Well, I mean that type of
Well,
thing.
if you see him
I
around
was looking
Norfolk.
at, they do a lot of like rescues.
Mm-hmm.
So like if
Ashton Kutcher style.
well, he was Coast Guard.
He was Coast
But
Guard.
Same thing.
Yeah. But like if astronauts come falling back down, these are the guys who go find them in the ocean. That literally was one of their things. They were an anti-submarine group, I believe, of what he's assigned to
Terrifying.
during like NAM and some other stuff, but I don't think there's so much of that anymore. Mostly like rescues, but it's Sea Combat Squadron in a
That's pretty
helicopter,
cool.
which is pretty sweet. Yeah. I figured that would get brought up, so I went ahead and
I just think like, and I'm not trying to get political. I don't want to bring politics into this, but like in a day and age where I feel like it's not really like as popular as glorified to be in the military or in any sort of uniformed service as it used to be, to see the talent pool that not just Navy, but I guess you could say Army or Air Force as well are pulling. I mean, it's impressive. And we talked about it last year around this time when we talk about how, it's America's game and how like all of these players know that at some point when their college career is done, they will have to serve 4 years for their country instead of pursuing fame and fortune and big paychecks and stuff
is
like
it
that.
5 years now?
It might be.
I thought friend of the show, Alyssa Kane, Naval Academy graduate and current officer, said it was 5 years, but I could be wrong.
I think I just think that it's incredible to see that, like I said, with the lessened popularity and glorification of and gratitude from the country really for the armed services, that they're still getting these high tier athletes that show up and play.
I mean,
for
you're
them.
right. We saw it last year. The Army QB Bryson Daly, I believe that kid was last year.
Mhm.
Absolute freaking monster and stud. Right? And then these guys. Horvath is close to there. I mean, I do think Daly was a little better, but Horvath was fantastic.
Navy's backup is really good too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Horvath
he had a little end around for like 30 yards.
Yeah. To your point, Kamlo, Horvath had kind of a similar quote to that. He was talking about all these schools, like their football programs, talking about their brotherhood and stuff, and he was like, "I'm tired of hearing them say that because
they don't.
It's not." He was like, "It's not a real brotherhood. You're not with the same guys for 4 or 5 years. Everyone's transferring out, and everyone's there just to get paid in money." And he's like, "Our team is not getting paid anything. All these guys are here the whole time, and you are with them through all these things. And all the prep that we do is, the stuff you do does." Again, I'm paraphrasing it, but like the stuff you do doesn't even sniff the things that we have to do and what we're going to go through. And this is a real brotherhood. And he's like, "I'm tired of hearing these guys playing for these power schools getting paid all this money saying." Brotherhood. He's like, "That's
these guys are bonded in blood and forged in fire. Like that's incredible." Episode title, by the way.
By the way, the uniform matchup.
Oh my gosh!
Is this the best uniform matchup they've had? There's been some great ones, but I feel like Army. You always have I feel like Navy's. I feel like Navy's is always better than Army's, yes. But I did really like Army's this year.
So I actually liked the combo last
year. But I wasn't a big fan of like the old English script on the back of Army's jerseys.
I like the helmets. I liked Army's helmets.
Nick, I agree with you. I think last year was awesome. Fear the Bones was top tier.
And Army's jersey in that, I would argue, was better because it was like the snow from like the Battle of the Bulge or whatever in like the forest.
Yeah, that's right.
Or Bastogne in the forest, and it like had like the fog like dripping off, and the writing on the back was the exact typing of basically the guy's letter telling them to fuck off. Like that was probably their best jersey they've ever done.
These jerseys were great. These jerseys were great.
But I love Navy's.
Stick out. I think last year's was the bar that I compared this year's to.
Last year's like both sides probably was the best, right? This year, this might have been my favorite Navy uniform this year.
I love the helmets. The helmets this year, plus
the helmets were so cool.
Their reveal video this year was also very good.
Don't give up the ship. Yeah. It was good. My one issue with the helmet was the two different things on the sides. I would have rather it just been a boat on both sides and had the USN symbol on your shoulder, because it was also on their shoulder. So that was on one side, and then the boat on the one side was on like a piece of paper, which kind of made it slightly too busy on an already busy design. But
it was perfect.
It was pretty sweet. Both were good. I wish the Army one had more purple in it, because I don't know if you saw, there was literally a very subtle outline in like the numbers was purple, and a very subtle line on the helmet was purple. And I wish that was more prominent, because it was supposed to be like the Purple Heart being awarded that. And so I thought that would have been a better touch, but no issues there. Great game. I always love watching it. I believe last year, I think Aaron Taylor, CBS analyst, said this game is the antidote to the disease of me. And that has stuck with me for an entire year, because I don't know if there's a better way to put that, because every single person out there is not playing, is literally playing for anyone but themselves. And that's a very interesting concept, especially in today's age, and in today's age regarding sports, because everything that is essentially pushed to people is to say that that's almost bad to care about other people and to be unselfish. So to see it play out in real life is why really we watch sports. Like I said, I've always said sports is life in microcosm, the whole old Howard Cosell quote, and you kind of saw some of that on Saturday.
It's funny to have this game played right after all of that Notre Dame stuff, because we talked a lot about the Notre Dame and their athletic director and all that stuff last week, but to have this game right after they say like, oh, we're snubbed, we're not playing in any bowl games, and I mean we kind of went on a little rant last week about how, like, this this is their last chance to play in a game, you know, like again, like it's the cure for the disease of me, right? And like it seems like right now, at least in the limelight, like Notre Dame is supremely suffering from the disease of me. Let the kids play the game, right? Because at the end of the day, and Army Navy is a great example of it. It's just a game because there's so much more going on and happening and right out there in the forefront that like this college football is small potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Let the kids play their game because there's some more serious shit happening out there in the real world.
And to your point as well about playing a game, every single one of those kids on both sides would, arguably 127 hours they're armed to play another Army-Navy game or one more football game. Like, seriously.
Come on, man. You can't do that to us.
You wanted to play the clip before, you're going to pay the piper. But it seriously, they would give anything to play one more football game, and every alumni from each of those institutions would say the same thing.
And that's the way it should be.
And to play with their brothers who they went through that because that means something as well. And you're right, Kamala, to watch that and know that all of those kids out there feel that way. Mm-hmm. And then to see an institution that's supposed to be flagship institution, not only athletically but academically in our country, react the way they did in Notre Dame, kind of it puts things in perspective and it makes you kind of think about what are we doing here?
Yeah, no, 100%.
I mean, that's the way it should be. Like, you should want to play because you love playing football, love playing any sport for that matter. I want to play and I want to play hard. I mean, that's not even like a second thought to any of us, but it is to these guys now of, well, what if I get hurt? What if I do this? Oh, we got snubbed. We're going to take our ball and go home. We feel wrong. So we don't want to play anymore.
This person money. So we're going to make this decision.
Yeah. God, if I'm a kid, I just want to play.
Money, Kevlar for our troops.
Mo money, mo problems.
Mm-hmm.
Mo money, more protective Kevlar vests.
Yes.
Save lives.
Anything else from the Army-Navy game? I'm sure, Kamlo, your father was very pleased.
Dad was lighting up the group chat. And I felt kind of bad because my brother-in-law is a U.S. Army veteran. And, he's just kind of the only one that's like, go Army. But dad was going nuts. But yeah, I mean they were sitting comfy at their house over there in Waynesboro and loving every minute of it. And like I said, there's specific days that I make a point to reach out and talk to my dad, and that was one of them. Army Navy's one of them. And so now that I'm grown and out of the house, obviously, but to still kind of have that connection with him and be able to watch and talk about it and get that text. Stevie, I think I got the exact same text from my dad that you sent us. What a call to go for it on 4th down. Like I got that exact same text from my dad, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean,
when are we going over there? Like, when are we doing a watch party for one of these?
We need to. I mean, real talk. We need to. We got to get
party. When are we going to the game?
Or going to the game? Yeah.
I think isn't next year. I think next year it goes back to the link, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it's FedEx next year.
I would go to the link.
I would go to the link as well.
If it's at FedEx,
I
I'm
would
not
take
going.
the tunnel from the Holiday Inn there.
Dude, Philly fans are brutal.
You do not possess the core strength to do that.
I could do way more push-ups than you. Let
the record reflect, he was slowing down.
That's bullshit, Your Honor. Buys and tries, you're top heavy.
Well, if it's in the link, we should try to go. If it's at FedEx, we need to have a watch party.
We're watch partying the one that's close.
Yeah, have you been to FedEx?
No, they dump raw sewage
sucks.
on their fans.
Yeah,
they do that. They do that.
It's also a nightmare to get in and out. I would totally love to go to Philly.
Well,
Philly. I love their like sports complex they have there. It's sweet.
They did it the right way.
Plus, in King of Prussia, we go to the casino.
I'm not.
Or we take the DMB's card and see if it'll work in the Fridays out in Fox Chase.
No, but you can.
No, we won't.
But you can.
Jesus Christ! All right, moving on, Nick.
Yep. All right. We're going to move on to our 3 strikes for the evening. Kamlo, hit the button. Who would like to go first?
I'll go. Steve, if you're cool with that.
I'll go.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Paper bitch. Yeah, so my strike, Patriots Bills. What an absolute roller coaster of a dumpster fire. For those of you that don't know, big Pats fan over here. And in the first half of that game, I was as confident as Josh McDaniels making play calls. Oh my God. Every drive, trick play here, fun little look here, flea flicker. Oh my God. It was incredible. Stevie texted us in the middle of the first half. I've seen enough Super Bowl champs. Holy fucking airball.
Douchebag.
Holy fucking airball. Halftime, I'm not gonna lie to you. Halftime, I rested my eyes a little bit on the couch. I was feeling really good.
Yeah, the other team does still have Josh Allen.
Yes, the other team still has Josh Allen and apparently an O-line that can make James Cook look like just an all-star Hall of Fame running back.
James Cook is really good. But
he is very good. 22 carries for 107 yards, 2 tutties is nice, right? I mean, it's nice. But, I mean, the game went from a slaughterhouse to competitive to heartbreaking to happy to heartbreaking again. There are a lot of good takeaways. I mean, the Patriots, since, I don't know if you guys saw this stat line that came up, but the Patriots since 2020 are like 1-5 now after their bye week, their game after their bye week.
Really?
Yes, since 2020, they've only won their first game back from the bye week, which is a crazy stat. It means nothing, but it's fun to know. The more you know, I suppose.
But what's interesting about it is I feel like Belichick was notorious for always winning that game.
Yeah, and I guess if you want to take that school of thought, right, they would have felt like this is the year to get back on track because Vrabel is a student of Bill, right? And so far this season,
So was Gerard Mayo. That's not very.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not shitting on Gerard Mayo. Believe me, I don't think Gerard Mayo got a fair shake. But like Vrabel is Vrabel, right? I mean, look what he did for the Titans, right? That's a guy you go out and get, and he's kind of like how we were saying around baseball playoff times that Shohei Ohtani, with every swing of the bat, with every pitch, makes the Angels look worse and worse and worse. Well, Vrabel, with every win, every successful drive, makes the Titans look worse and worse and worse. Like, how do you let Mike Vrabel go? Give him Cate Blanchett.
Carte blanche.
But the Patriots end up losing that game 31-35. There were some good takeaways there. Travion Henderson, obviously, 14. You want to talk about all-star looking running backs? 14 carries for 148 yards, 2 tutties, 65-yard touchdown run, and on just a total scramble. By the way, it was supposed to be like
that was such a great play.
A leak through on the right. He runs into the mob and just says, "You know what? I'm going to take this out to the left," and just houses it. That was a great
Drake
play.
May with the lead block there.
But I mean, for us, who grew up as fans of Belichick, fans of Manning, fans of Breeze, right? We grew up watching great game managers. That Travion Henderson run kind of, it happened so fast and so soon right after the Bills score that now Josh Allen gets the ball back with so much clock. It's kind of scary a little bit. You would have liked to have seen maybe that drive extend a little bit. I mean, I'm not upset about a 65-yard touchdown.
I think we get too caught up with the having to waste clock nowadays. It was, yes, you don't want to just sit there and always do one play drives. Obviously, that'll kill your defense. But at the same time, if you're doing one play drives that are resulting in touchdowns every time you touch the ball, they're going to have to keep up with those touchdowns. Correct. Your ultimate goal is to score a touchdown, obviously. Right?
The defense is what I was disappointed with in the second half. You got to make a stand. You got to come up and make a stop because their defense has been so good.
It showed. I mean, recently. Do you think that this game kind of exposes the New England Patriots? Do you think every team now is just going to want to?
No team has Josh Allen. no team has Josh Allen. You're going to try to run the ball more, obviously, but no team has Josh Allen. A lot of these teams are geared towards spreading you out and throwing the football.
There are other teams in the AFC with a good line and a good running back, though.
Yes,
yeah, but do you think Vrabel is going to let that happen again to where I'm getting beat physically up front? No,
I can't. I would like to think no. I mean, Vrabel's kind of a dog. I think they immediately got in the lab and had a full practice the next day.
Here's the other thing, though, that we are discounting. That game meant more to the Bills.
100%.
It did. Yes, that's true.
And
it was a chance to clinch. It was a chance to clinch.
You're trying to beat the reigning MVP and arguably the favorite or one of the favorites to make the Super Bowl and possibly win it. You're trying to beat them for the second time in a season. It's hard to beat anyone twice, let alone possibly the best player in the league right now, right? So you got to think about those things. If there's a slight bit more of desperation, this team and the quarterback and everything with it, their coach have arguably more of a track record with their current squad. Obviously, you brought up what Vrabel did in Tennessee was incredibly impressive. But McDermott's been there. There's a continuity in place. There's all these things in place. Those are the type of wins that you see from championship teams. You're playing a quality opponent on the road that you're familiar with, and you have to just go out and beat them, and not to mention kind of come back and beat them. Championship teams do that. Right now, for you guys, so you don't freak out as Patriots fans.
I'm not going to freak out.
It sounds like you are. Like Vrabel's
no, I'm not.
This. But, right, Belichick always was good about not revealing too much, especially in the regular season. Right? And so you showed them all those whatever trick plays you said. And that was something Belichick might do, show them trick plays. So now the next time they prepare, they have to waste all that time on those trick plays. And Belichick is already 6 steps ahead of you and figured out the plays he's going to run instead.
Real game plan.
Right? Knowing that, right? Knowing the fact that, like you said, Kamala, they are 1 win away from clinching. Odds are they could lose out and make the playoffs, right? Knowing those things, it's almost very Belichickian for them to lose this game, because it sets them up, especially if they wind up playing Buffalo in the playoffs later. It would set them up.
The Pats are still a game up in the division.
Meta.
They have the Ravens next week, the Jets after that, and then the Dolphins.
So by the way, Ravens are super desperate. I would not be shocked if the Ravens win that game either.
Yes, and the nice thing too is that I think that's really our last hurdle for the Patriots is the Ravens, and then the Jets and Dolphins should be fairly easy. The Bills also have one more big test ahead of them in the Philadelphia Eagles, and then they have the Dolphins and the Jets left as well. So it looks like schedules matching up. I do believe both teams probably go 2-1, possibly 3-0 to close the season out. And in that case, the Patriots have a game up on the Bills and clinch the division.
It would also be very Belichickian to not give a crap about that Dolphins game.
Correct.
Let the Dolphins win. Because what's also Belichickian with that is the Dolphins winning that hurts their draft position.
Yes.
And that would have crossed the Belichick mind. So I wouldn't be surprised if Vrabel's thinking that way. They go into that game very just vanilla, and the Dolphins come out with a win because there's guys out there playing for their jobs, and maybe McDaniel's playing for his job or coaching for his job, which may already be gone. Wouldn't be shocking at all to see them lose that game.
I mean, you want to talk about teams who could hurt their draft. I mean, not that it really matters because the Jets kind of own the 26 and 27 draft. You lose away to the Jets and then win at home against the Dolphins to close the season out, because the Jets are 3-11. A fourth win could also hurt their chances, because there's other 3-11 teams. There's 2-12 teams right now, so it's
from
not
the Belichick thought process though.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins are much more of a threat to you in the future than the Jets are. So you would, hurt them by allowing them to possibly win the game, and the Jets, it doesn't matter.
That's the Patriots' first loss since September 21st.
Yeah.
That was my last
That was a 10-game win streak, wasn't it?
September. Wait, yeah, I think so. Something around there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Stevie.
All right, boy. All right, well, hold on.
Stoop.
That's two.
Stoop.
All right, let's move over to NCAA volleyball. Volleyball is they're going to the Final Four now, starting on Thursday. But in case you missed it, this past weekend, Nebraska versus Texas A&M in the quarterfinals. And Nebraska was the 1 seed, undefeated on the year, by the way. And A&M was the 3 seed. This went to 5 sets, so it is a best of 5 in volleyball. This went to the 5th set. A&M took the first two, 25-22 and 25-22.
Which
Nebraska
I believe are the first 2 sets that Nebraska dropped all tournament.
Yeah,
they had been cruising.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean they've been absolutely dominant. And then Nebraska came back, won the next two, 25-20, and here's the best one was set 4. They won 37-35. So you have to win by 2 in these sets.
And to 25 in the sets. Yeah.
Yes, the sets are to 25 until you get to the 5th set. The 5th set goes to 15. The 37-35 set is unbelievable. By the way, all these sets are close. It's not like one of these is just a blowout and you're like getting some rest or whatever. The energy, the hustle, the intensity of every single thing. You are on the edge of your seat for 72 points.
Fuck yes.
In one set, 72 points. It's just going back and forth. That's insane. Yeah, exactly. And then A&M finally took set 5, 15-13 to advance to the Final Four. And they played Pitt on Thursday.
What an absolute battle that game was.
First ever Final Four in program history for the Aggies, by the way.
That's incredible.
Just nuts.
We've talked about it that way. Talked about it in previous weeks leading up to this tournament and during this tournament, but holy shit. This is incredible to watch. I don't care what game you put on. This is so much fun to watch, and I think the thing about it that catches my eye the most is how absolutely packed these stadiums are. People are showing up and turning out for this tournament, and it's a delight to watch. I mean, the arenas are loud. This is so much fun to watch.
So you're also on the road, so you have a home court advantage as well. So that game was in Nebraska. Yes, and then
Nebraska is arguably the premier program. Like
remember they sold out
their football
stadium
for a volleyball match.
What, 2 years ago, I think?
Yeah. So, to do that, like you said, boy, in arguably the toughest place to play in the whole country is an incredible achievement for the A&M program and everyone associated with the team. That's nuts. The way
that's an incredible. That's why you play the game
after losing, like you said, the 4th set. Like, I mean, you have a chance to put away
that 4th set, 37-35. You would think whoever wins that set, I mean, obviously if A&M wins it, they win.
All the momentum in the world.
Yeah, Nebraska's got all the momentum. Like, to pick yourself up after that, because that's got to be just deflating. To pick yourself up and then go win, and then they also almost blew it. Strategic timeout.
Like morally, but like that is a long war of attrition of a set too. Like you essentially played two 5th sets in one. Like that's insane. It was super fun and electric watch. I'm having so much fun, and like that game in particular, like I would flip it on just like if there was a match going on that I could watch like during commercials or something. I think I watched the majority of that game, and because of it, I'm going to be so locked in for this Final Four. It's going to be insane.
By the way, the other side of the Final Four is Wisconsin, go Badgers, versus Kentucky.
Yeah, well, plays Pitt, by the way. I don't know if you said that.
Yeah.
Number 1 Pitt versus number 3 A&M, and number 1 Kentucky versus number 3 Wisconsin in the Final Four, which is pretty. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, Wisconsin had to go on the road
programs as well.
Yes. They had to go on the road through number 1 Texas.
Yes, they finally got their first national championship a couple years ago in this sport. So, yeah, they're taking on Kentucky. Pitt, who has emerged recently, Pitt and Louisville out of the ACC.
Yes.
Powerhouses now. So, Pitt looking to keep their run of success going against the upstart Aggies should be, like you said, must watch. Great stuff.
Yeah, Thursday night. Yep. Tune in.
Yeah, and here we go.
All right, so I'm going to go hockey to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They had 2 on back-to-back days, just like ultimate collapses in games, which could be essentially a microcosm of what we're seeing in Pittsburgh for not just this year, but the last couple years.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, it's, kind of poisoning the end or the later years of Sidney Crosby's career, which I know you're just brokenhearted over, Tom, though.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, Caps fan till I die, but like the hockey fan in me, I mean, I got nothing but respect for everything Sid has done. But so you're absolutely right, though. It is sad to see a career come to an end like this.
Because he's not playing poorly either. It's not like he's
not.
playing
He's
poorly.
actually playing very well.
Yes.
With every fiber of my being, I pure straight hate you. God damn it, do I respect you.
So on Saturday, Pittsburgh was up 5-1 in the third period, but allowed the San Jose Sharks to score 4 unanswered goals, including Tyler Toffoli's game-tying tally with about a minute and a half left to force overtime. And then defenseman John Klingberg netted his second goal of the day 3 minutes into the extra session to give San Jose a come-from-behind 6-5 victory over the Pens. 6-5.
To the Sharks is inexcusable.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I don't care how good Macklin Celebrini is and
yeah,
how good Tyler Toffoli has been in the past or how good John Klingberg was.
Yes.
In the past. Like you said, Kamala, to do that to San Jose, not to get shit on San Jose, but there's still a long ways to go for their contenders, and to have that is
seen as a
inexcusable. Yes. But then on Sunday, the next day, Pittsburgh blew a 3-0 third period lead against the Mammoth after Utah scored 4 consecutive goals in the final stanza in the span of 6 minutes of game time. But then Justin Brazeau knotted the score up at 4-4. So they were up 3-0 and then went down 4-3. And then Brazeau scored to make it 4-4 to force overtime for Pittsburgh. But the Pens slipped up again as Dylan Guenther scored less than a minute into the final session for a 5-4 Utah victory. Pittsburgh has lost 5 straight, but 4 of those have come in overtime/shootout, and they have actually earned points in 9 of their last 11 games, despite losing almost all of those games. So it's one of those things where a normal Crosby team, just a Penguins organizational team that been used to for 15 years of Crosby's career, one is not blowing those leads, and even if they are, they're still pulling out at least a couple of these games. But we're seeing them not able to do either of those things. And that is, we just watched them trade Tristan Jarry to Edmonton.
Also, so much to unpack there. That's fucking crazy.
And you wonder if there's more to come.
Yeah, I mean,
because they wave that flag.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, Gino, Crosby, and Letang, icons in the city, would probably get the key to would probably get the keys to the city just because of everything they've done for the city of Pittsburgh. But the Pittsburgh needs to stop. If they want to salvage their hockey program and start bouncing back, they need to stop treating this like a fucking loyalty club account. Like this is a business. We say this all the time about so many different professional sports teams. This is a business, and we need to start making business decisions because, again, not that Crosby's playing badly, not that Malkin is playing badly, Letang, whatever. It's sad to see because, like you said, Nick, they are Hall of Famers and they are in the twilight of their career. But like any hockey fan, certainly every Pittsburgh fan, like no one wants to see them go down like this. No one wants to see them shitting a huge lead to San Jose in Pittsburgh and losing in overtime. No one wants to see them losing in overtime in Pittsburgh to the Utah Mammoth. And now, to rub salt in the wound, they are currently losing 4-2 to their old goaltender against the Oilers.
Yeah, it's a big hockey town, too, that I think they're desperate to get back to postseason hockey and being good again.
But that's the thing, like Kamala said, how do you do that if you're going to keep all of these contracts? And
so
you're
you got to force retire, like, I don't know.
No,
that's ageism.
That's
ageism.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. You got to like have something in the contract that says like when you reach this age.
What you need to do is you got to trade. Essentially, you probably need to trade Malkin Letang. You're going to keep Crosby. I don't see a reason to get rid of Crosby because it's You can't do that.
You need to
that's
trade
like
them,
the
and then
Caps
at the
getting rid of
end, you
Ovechkin.
bring them back, sign them to a one-day contract, and hang their jerseys in the
Malkin and
rafters.
Letang.
Yes.
Yes. No.
Well,
They need to
Letang
trade
probably
them.
would just straight up retire because he's had so many health scares over the last couple of years.
But you're right. Maybe you keep Letang because you still could use a quality defenseman who wouldn't. But maybe you need to ship Malkin off, get a couple of other pieces in place. He's not going to command what he would have commanded a couple years ago. And again, as good as he is, you could argue they probably should have cut bait with him a couple years ago.
Yes.
Because the whole Belichick thing, like he's not going to produce, especially someone who's just pure, like, yes, he has great playmaking abilities, but so much of his stuff is just pure physicality.
Yes.
That's the type of thing that goes away. Whereas Crosby is so much like guile and you know, he's so cerebral about all these different things that he could probably play forever. He's the type of guy. He's the type of guy that could possibly Yager things if he hadn't had the previous concussion issues years ago. He's physically built that way. His mindset, his skill level, his hockey IQ is to that point where he could do it. But Malkin, I don't think could. So him being there, eating up spots in development of other players, again, you're probably best served trading him to like the Blues and having the Blues ship a couple guys to you. I mean, I just do a random team that could use offense, but you know, that type of thing is probably best. And like we alluded to before, Tristan Jarry getting traded signals that type of idea. So I wonder if you're going to see a lot more trades happening in Pittsburgh in next month and a half before trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, you could see. I mean, they're sitting at 37 points. They're currently 14, 8, and 9. So I mean, they're sitting middle of the Eastern Conference, lower middle of the Eastern Conference. But when you look at the talent pool on the teams that are in the upper echelon of the Eastern Conference right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Lightning look really good. The Red Wings look really good. The Hurricanes look unstoppable. So they're a long way off right now.
And it's not to mention some of the other teams that they'd have to jump, like the Devils, Rangers, and Islanders. And the Rangers and Islanders stink, but you would argue have more talent than what you currently see in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They're ahead of the Rangers.
The Rangers suck.
They're behind the Hurricanes, suck. Islanders, Caps, and Flyers currently. They're 4-2-4 in their last 10 on a losing 5 on a L5 streak right now. Not what you want to see, especially with like I said, the upper echelon is riding a heater right now. The Hurricanes have won 4 in a row. The Islanders have won 3 in a row. It's if you want to do right by these stars, by your city, by your team, it's not being stagnant, right? So I think the Tristan Jarry trade does potentially give you a sign of things to come, or they're just establishing themselves as sellers. They're just establishing themselves as sellers and just looking to like stack up for the coming year. So we'll see what happens, but I mean it's sad, right? And I'm a Cavs fan saying that. It's sad.
Another hockey-related note, did you see the GOAT, Nick Saban, just bought a minority stake in the Nashville Predators?
Did he really?
I did see that.
He's an owner now of the Preds. Cool. It is.
I did see that someone said, like, Nick Saban's owned the state of Tennessee for a long time now. Might as well do this.
Now he's going to have a nice little comfy box at the Nashville Predators.
Yes. I love it.
Nick Saban now is a booster club member at the University of Tennessee.
Never.
That would be Vandy.
Yeah, Vandy.
Vandy's in Nashville.
Shit.
We famously said every place in the SEC is hard to play at, except for Vanderbilt. And then they lost to them.
One more hockey thing before you move on. I know there's one more thing you want to talk about before we get to our favorites. Did you guys see that Quinn Hughes trade to the Minnesota Wild?
Yeah.
And how good have the Wild looked since that trade? Holy. Him and Kiprasov, they look unstoppable, bro.
I need to get a Wild jersey.
The Wild look good.
That's a team I want. That's a team I always want to root for. I just love the jersey, the logo, the state of hockey.
Yeah.
That's always one of our top jerseys. But yeah, that was a big trade that stuck out to me. So I'm pretty excited about that.
It's massive. It is landscape changing. But I'm not the biggest Quinn Hughes fan because he's in my opinion, too much Mike Green, not enough John Carlson for you Caps fans as a comparison. And I think when you looked at like plus minus things like that for him, it kind of sticks out, I believe. But, when they say his biggest strength is quarterbacking the power play, that's where I have pause, because you're talking about a very specialized scenario that doesn't take place throughout the whole game. So how are you on 5-on-5? How are you shorthanded? Those are the things I care more about in a defenseman, because you can have a forward quarterback the power play. We've seen that before, right? A center right? That can happens frequently. So to me, yes, that is an added bonus that, hey, we've got the power play. We now have a weapon. But that's only positive if you have the defensive defenseman around him, right? Again, how often is Mike Green on a Stanley Cup making team? How often is Cam Fowler or Kevin Shattenkirk?
Ooh, Cam Fowler, good pull.
On these Stanley Cup teams, because those guys are just pure offensive. There's another forward playing on defense, and you need defense. Now, what the Wild do have, who I'm a very big fan of, is Brock Faber.
Yeah, we talked about him a little bit last year.
Brock Faber, and they have some decent defensive. One, they have Kirill Kaprizov, who's just, a stud, right? So any team with him has got a good shot to win. But Faber, and there's another American, Matt Boldy, is that his name? Who also adds a bit of physicality, which those things help you if you're going to add a Quinn Hughes, who's essentially another forward, a very skilled forward playing defense. So those things can even out. Maybe it's the right fit. Vancouver, people have been saying that he was going to get traded from there for a while, and that he really didn't want to stay there long term. Like, he was very non-committal about signing an extension.
It's hard to play.
Well, especially when you're an American kid and your two brothers are all the way on the East Coast.
Yeah.
With the Devils, right?
Yeah.
It's understandable.
Worst travel schedule in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
You're in Canada.
Now, from what I've heard, they're in like the most beautiful place in Canada, like one of the most beautiful places.
British Columbia, right?
But yes, it understandable.
Calgary.
It is a landscape changing trade, and you wonder. I would love to know what the title odds for Minnesota, how they changed with that trade. They did give up a decent amount, but
yeah, they did. But they've been on a heater since he showed up, and they decimated the Bruins. And Quinn Hughes got his first goal as a Wild against the Bruins. I can look into it. I mean, I can chime in and let you know.
All right. Anything else about that before we go to our bonus drop third strike? All right. Drop.
I don't.
Drop. He dropped it. What a klutz.
No.
Butterfingers.
Yeah, I think you just have to. Was it a strikeout and then a safe symbol?
Yeah, maybe. It's been a while since our umpiring days. But for the bonus,
did you ever umpire?
Yeah.
You did? I never did. I refereed basketball. I did not umpire.
I did flag football.
I did flag football as well.
Did basketball, did baseball.
Yeah, I did flag football. I remember with our loyal listener, Ben Messina, with his older brother, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Flag football referees, we're the best.
Allegedly. But our bonus one, we wanted to give you the Heisman Trophy. As we kind of talked about before our show came on the air, it was a very lowly anticipated Heisman Trophy this year. And part of it is not because the players weren't good. Obviously, they're all great players and all deserving of the honors that they've received. But the fact that you weren't looking and saying, holy crap, look, this dude rushed for 2,000 yards, or this guy threw 50 touchdowns, or, things like that have stood out.
Remember Joe Burrow?
Look, yeah, Joe Burrow,
remember that year?
Jaden Daniels stuff was crazy. Last year with Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty, both of their stuff was crazy, right? We talked about guys in the past who didn't even win, like Christian McCaffrey and Toby Gerhart, who just put up these ridiculous numbers, right? Like or even a Larry Fitzgerald, right? Who didn't win.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So
it
felt
Austin.
like it was lacking that, but what was great is that you saw these guys out there, and besides Julian saying, the guys that were there for finalists and the guys who received a lot of the highest number of votes, battle-tested veterans, owing to a lot of the points that we've said about how experience matters and that development matters and those types of things do matter in football. And being a football player is paramount to whatever physical, quote, gifts that you were able to be born with, right? And
I
so
mean, if you look at
see these
like what
guys,
is
it
it,
was a testament to that.
the star ratings for the top 2 Heisman vote getters were like a 2-star and a 0, like, or whatever. I don't even know if Pavia had a rating.
Yeah.
Like
No, I mean,
these guys went to smaller schools and then they still played at smaller schools. Like, imagine saying that your top 2 Heisman vote getters are going to be from Indiana and Vanderbilt.
yes. Yes. I mean, that's why I love it, but that's also why it was one of the least hyped ones because it's not.
While Notre Dame and Ohio State finished 3rd and 4th.
Yeah. All right. So if you missed it, Fernando Mendoza of Indiana, he became the first Indiana player to win the Heisman Trophy. He led the country in touchdown passes. I think I saw something where he was like the first Big Ten quarterback since the year 2000 to have consecutive or 3 or 4 straight Big Ten games with 4 touchdown passes and no picks. So, very obscure stat, but great there. And like you said,
Drew Brees?
Mendoza was originally a Yale commit. He was going to go play at Yale. And then Cal had a kid decommit, a quarterback decommit. And Cal exactly, thank you, Dave Franco. Cal at the last minute reached out to him and was like, hey, we had this one guy decommit. Do you want to come here instead of Yale? And he said, sure, I'll go to Cal. Again, Mendoza was supposed to go to Yale. Instead, he went to Cal, played there, transfers to Indiana. Like you said, boy, I mean, Indiana has the most losses in the history of college football, right?
The last 2 years, though.
Nope. But transfers to Indiana, leads the country in touchdown passes, wins. I mean, won like I think the Maxwell, the Davey O'Brien. He was first team All-American, first team Big Ten offensive player, Big Ten offensive player of the year, and he wins the Heisman. And it's amazing. And I have part of a quote here from what he said during his acceptance speech, which was a very good speech. He is an incredibly smart person. Obviously, he was going to go to Yale. The Ivy League schools, you still have to get in to play at their schools. And he said, and again, this I may have missed something, but quote, it doesn't matter how many stars you have attached to your name, discipline, heart, and people who believe in you, and you need to believe in yourself and your own abilities. And essentially, that's how he got there.
100%. I love it because it's such a great lesson, and it's the opposite of what every big media personality puts out there. It's the opposite of what every AP poll voter puts in the preseason, right? All they do is look at star ratings. Who's your recruiting class? Who's this guy? What's his athleticism like? Like who are his measurables? Like whatever. And there's things you can't quantify. And there's things like the hard work, the discipline, your brain, things that Mendoza does, your leadership, like little things like that you can't quantify, and it shows up, and he wins the Heisman Trophy, and he's gotten the number 1 team in the country with Indiana.
Yes.
That's incredible.
It is. It's an incredible story. But like you said, boy, it doesn't fit what we want as the media. So instead of it being all over the place like it really should be, it's just a headline. And you're right. And going back, basically, like he and his brother's backup at Indiana, they're grandsons of Cuban immigrants who came to this country, trying to flee communism and potential persecution over in Cuba, and coming here and being able to become what he is, like that. You understand. I know it's hard for some other people to understand, but you understand more about how he's able to do what he's been able to do when you think about that he's not far removed from people just desperate to survive. And so we talked about Navy Army being the antidote of the disease of me. In a lot of ways, this is emblematic of that same type of mindset, right? It is the idea that I'm going to work hard and do all the things I need to do. I am not going to be entitled. I'm not going to play the victim. I'm not going to look for excuses or to try to capitalize on someone else's mistakes, because I've seen firsthand that that's not sustainable, and that truly the belief of hard work being rewarded and faith and like you said, believing in yourself, having someone to believe in you, and us just knowing so much. Like also coming on the heels of National Signing Day, where all of the press is about the star attached to this person's name, all the hype is about the money that this person's getting, and to see this guy win the Heisman, and then like you said, Diego Pavia was runner-up, who's coming from New Mexico State, right? And who plays with the biggest chip you could ever think of on someone's shoulder. And it shows in what the stuff he says and how he acts, which in a lot of ways is unsavory to a lot of people, but it's also the reason he's been successful. Like, you don't want to take
Correct.
that out of him, even if it is inexcusable. Some of the things he said, like he posted after when he didn't win, which what he came out and apologized for was unacceptable and inexcusable. But at the same time,
but he doesn't believe that.
But at the same time, it's very Cam Scadaboo like that Scadaboo was in the NFL because he had to have that.
Okay, yeah, I'll stop you.
Successful because
okay, I'll stop you there. That. Cam Scadaboo wasn't doing the shit that Pavia is doing. Now, do they play with a chip on their shoulder? No, they were not. No, he was not. They play with a huge chip on their shoulder. But I don't know, Pavia, like, to his story should be one of the most likable stories. I should be able to look at him and go, undersized, overlooked, comes into Vanderbilt in the big bad SEC, goes 10-2, second in the Heisman. Like, this guy's got to be so likable, so easy to root for. And then you watch his antics, listen to him talk, his posts, and you go, I hate this guy. Come on.
Again, that's part of.
But it's not the Baker Mayfield. I love Baker, but Pavia rubs you the wrong way. There's a difference in the antics, and I understand he does like. He's gotten to where he is because he has that chip on his shoulder, because he plays that way, because he has to believe that he is the best player to step foot on that field, and he's the baddest person on that field. And I totally agree with that. I get it. But when you're off the field doing some of the other stuff, I need you to bring it down a notch. Don't cross the line here.
Dan Patrick likened it to, it's almost as if Pavia is trying to be Johnny Manziel 2.0.
And he shouldn't.
No, he shouldn't. And that's exactly what Dan said was, I hope Pavia does not want to be like Johnny Manziel.
Well, so, I mean, just a couple things. One, lest you forget, this is the kid who, when he was at New Mexico State, he was filmed taking a piss on the New Mexico logo. And then that sparked the whole, essentially, pissing contest between the schools, where during their rivalry game that year, New Mexico was, like, restricting... Oh, no, that's... I think it was the bowl game New Mexico State was playing in New Mexico Stadium, the bowl game, and they restricted access for New Mexico State for certain things because Pavia was filmed taking a piss on their logo and stuff.
Guy getting to Vanderbilt.
It's
he ain't
still,
playing school.
It's still a private school in the SEC. Let's be real. But I will also want to bring up Vince Young, right? We all look at Vince Young favorably, excuse me. When he lost the Heisman, no one expected him to win to Reggie Bush and Leinart, right? He was vocal about being upset that he didn't win and that being pissed off, like, how could the voters not vote for me? Like, things like
that. He was vocal about. And then he won a national championship against them.
And then he went and won the national championship against exactly, right? So
no, I get being upset. I get that.
Because he has had that mindset. We've talked about this.
It's a different thing. You know it. You're just trying to play devil's advocate like you always do.
I don't have as
you
much
cannot
of a problem with
sit
it.
there and say I like Pavia.
No, I do. I love him. I think
love him.
If this is a different school and this player had 5 stars next to him, this is Cam Newton.
Absolutely not. Cam Newton didn't do that shit.
Scam Newton? Are you kidding me?
He was not doing the stuff that Pavia is doing. He was not outright saying this stuff. Scam Newton was doing some other shit, but he wasn't doing this. Come on. There's having a chip on your shoulder, and then there's this. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
It's really the best way to put it. There's having a chip on your shoulder, and there's just being like just an arrogant little shit.
Correct. That is correct.
I like that in a pilot.
I do not want to root. I should be rooting for Vanderbilt and Pavia.
All the hits.
Yeah. I should
Crime
be rooting for
penetration,
Vanderbilt
crime
and Pavia,
penetration.
and I'm not. Right?
Crime
That's to
penetration.
me is like you have to be such a little shit
Mhm.
to take your story and have people not root for you. Like that's bad. The other guys like Manziel, like the star ratings, and like Cam Newton coming in, like he's gonna be the number one pick. Like it's easy to see that and go like, well, I don't want to. I want to root for the underdog and not these guys. Like if they say something like I'm gonna be upset about it or whatever.
Cam Newton also had hardware to back his shit up.
He did. Cam Newton was so good.
Yeah, college Cam was a dog.
College Cam was doing. You talk about like Heisman stuff. Like he was doing things
Yeah.
no one else was doing.
He only won an MVP in the NFL as well.
Yes, I do know that.
Yeah, but everyone forgets about that because of his fucking hats and glasses.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. That's going to take us to our favorites segment, brought to you as always by One Legacy Title and Escrow in Jacksonville, Florida. Follow them on Instagram at One Legacy Florida and visit them at One Legacy Florida, all one word, .com to see how they can help you with your next house closing. One Legacy Title and Escrow, because your legacy matters. This week we went with our favorite sports to watch in person. Favorite sports to watch in person.
Oh yeah,
being there.
Who wants to take? Do you want to go, Kamo? Or you want
it
me
looks
to
like
go?
you're chomping at the bit. I can see you have it ready in your hand. Go ahead. I'll give you the ball.
I do. Yeah.
Now give me
so
the
favorite sports in person. I'm going to start with number 5 with the NHL. Hockey in person is fantastic. I love it. There's something about the sound of the ice and the puck and everything. Sometimes I do rather watch that on TV to follow the puck a little bit better. But hockey in person, really cool atmosphere, especially you get everyone singing with the national anthem and everything. That's awesome. Next one, college basketball. I do love college basketball games. I've stormed the court a couple of times, but I also love the smaller school college basketball games like U of R, VCU, schools like that, where you get a little bit up close to these players and see like the size, the speed, just how incredibly different the game is than it is like, when you played in high school or whatever. Like this is just a totally different game. And to see that in the atmosphere of smaller schools, they also sell alcohol now at college basketball stadiums, which is nice. It's a nice touch. U of R stadium, by the way, is really nice. I want to go back to a game. My next one, college football. Everything that goes with college football, starting with the tailgate. That's the best part of going to see the game live is the tailgating. And then to feel the crowd when it gets hyped and you get like the anticipation of something that like when you get a defensive play or a loud hit or whatever. And then now all the like the stadiums have all these crazy like pyrotechnics or light shows or the video hype videos that they show. Like it's such a cool thing. The entrances, the traditions at the end, like college football, going to a game is truly special. All the little things you do on a first down, getting loud on third down, like all those different things. I love college football, going to college football games. My second one, Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
You can't beat going to a baseball game in person. The sounds of baseball, the summer, right? The weather's usually nice.
Social and gameplay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And my number 1 is minor league baseball.
Ooh, okay. I like that you differentiated there.
Yes, I love minor league games.
Damn,
Again, you get to get up close and personal for cheap. They typically have drink deals.
Well,
we
not
have
always,
had
unless you're going to a fucking Norfolk Tides game. Ain't cheap,
Well,
and there are no drink deals. And
Norfolk doesn't care about our troops.
Nope, they don't. They don't.
Admirals, Tides, all of them.
Largest military base in the whole goddamn world. Pay more for a beer there than you do at any major league ballpark.
All right. Well, besides Nick's point about the Norfolk Tides, the Richmond Squirrels game have been great. The Asheville Taurus game we went to was
electric.
That was the most fun I've ever had at a sporting event. You're up close and personal. You get to drink. To be that close, like these are still professional baseball players. No matter what level you're at, they're getting paid. Yes, they don't get paid a lot, next to nothing, but these guys are still professionals that you can see the difference in the game and like the level from college to single A to double A to triple A to the pros, like how those levels stack up. You can see the young studs that we get to see at AA games that we go, oh, look at that guy. That guy's coming through. I think we saw Gunner. We saw him play. We've seen a few other guys that have made waves, but to get up close and personal to guys throwing 95 with some movement, and to all the promotions they do, all the different gear. I mean, Nick, you're wearing a Richmond Squirrels hat, which is a sweet hat, by the way.
I got Fredericksburg Frogs hat on.
The names, the different things they do. I mean, I was drinking canned wine at an Asheville tourist game. How great was that? Because I could make violent hand gestures and not spill my wine.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic.
A lot of mustard on those hot dogs.
And it was Dollar Dog night.
Nothing better.
That's my list. Minor League Baseball, the greatest sporting event to go to in person.
It's a good list.
That was good. Yeah.
Kamla? Yeah, for me, honorable mention, I'm going to throw football in there. I didn't really differentiate between the levels as much, except for one. But yeah, I mean, any level of football. I've been to college football games. I've been to professional football games. Honorable mention, football. And I think it doesn't fall as high for me because I'm not consistently going to see a team that I'm aligned with, right? Obviously, I'm not going to a bunch of Pats games. Radford didn't have a football team. So football...
Still undefeated.
Yeah, still undefeated. None of my sisters went to colleges that had football teams either. Longwood didn't have a football team when my oldest sister was here in Virginia. Shepherd didn't have a football team. But I do enjoy going to them.
No,
Number
Shepherd
5
has a team.
Do they? Or they might not have when my sister was there.
Tyson Bagent, who started for the Bears last year, played at Shepherd.
Maybe.
They've always... maybe you're right. Maybe it's not.
I think when my sister went there, they had just transitioned from being Shepherd College to Shepherd University. So I don't know. Whatever.
They do play in the PSAC, the Pennsylvania State Athletic, whatever,
PSAC.
Which is all those D2 schools like Kutztown and Slippery Rock and.
I know where all those schools are.
Yeah.
Yep.
East Stroudsburg.
Honorable mention.
James Franklin's alma mater, but they're located in West Virginia. I think they're the only one not in Pennsylvania in the PSAC.
Number 5.
They're close enough.
I'm gonna go with soccer. I've been to, again, professional levels. I've been to collegiate levels, and I've been to competitive high school and travel levels. And soccer is just so much fun for me to watch. I am gonna try desperately to get World Cup tickets. All the schedules have come out of where all the different teams are playing, so I might want to do some traveling and go see some teams. But professional soccer is just up there for me to watch. It's such a beautiful game, and I really do enjoy watching it because I've had so much fun playing it. Number 4, rugby. Rugby games are so much fun to play. I think a couple of years ago, I went to the Navy Yard I think that's Audi Field, and watched probably about 8.5 to 9 hours of 7-on-7 Major League Rugby, because it was their off season. So they do like a 7-on-7 touring league where they go around the country and play a whole day of 7-on-7 round robin matches. College rugby is so much fun to watch. It's just, you watch guys that are just mauling each other and putting it all out there. Again, if you want to talk teams that are just absolutely bonded, rugby players are bonded. I don't care if they end up getting traded or sign new deals with different teams. Rugby players, that's a brotherhood. And if you ever get the chance, go drink with your college's rugby team, because I guarantee you won't last very long. But rugby matches are a lot of fun. If you can get past the rules that you're probably not familiar with, or if you go with somebody who knows the game and can explain it to you so you know what you're watching, it is so much fun to watch. I've had some of the best afternoons of my life watching rugby matches. Go DC Old Glory, by the way. DC OGs. Number 3, basketball games, particularly college basketball games. I'm right there with Stevie. I am not a huge fan of the NBA. We went to a Wizards game a couple years ago. I ate the spiciest chicken sandwich of my life and don't really remember the rest of the game. But professional NBA games, especially when you're in an area where your professional NBA team just sucks so much ass.
Have the Zards even gotten to 3 wins?
I don't know, and I don't want to look. It's depressing. But the professional landscape, at least the NBA, is not looking so good in our area. The Washington Mystics were very good for a while, but I don't think I've ever been to a Mystics game. But I've gone to college games for Radford. I've gone to college games for Tech. I've gone to college games for Navy. And college games, you're right. It's one of those atmospheres where you feel the crowd. everyone is just so hyped. It's just a built-in fan base that's just ride or die for their school. And college basketball is so much fun to watch. I also enjoy going and watching rec league games. A couple of guys I work with, they coach at the Parks and Rec here and where I live, and I went to a couple of their games to watch some. They coach the level where it's high schoolers that didn't make their high school team. So it's not extremely competitive, but the town turns out for these rec league games. So it was fun to watch, right? It's again a beautiful sport that I really enjoy watching. Number 2, I'm there with Stevie. I got to go baseball. Minor league games are so much fun to go to. We have the Fredericksburg Fred Nats up the road from us, and for a while I lived in an apartment that was a half-mile walk to the stadium. My wife and I went to games all the time. We go less now, but we still make a point to go. Richmond Squirrel games, obviously, sitting in an hour of traffic to get to a doubleheader down there in downtown Richmond is super fun. But baseball games are just so much fun. I mean, going up to Camden Yards and sitting out by the warehouse on Utah Street, getting a Boogs beef, and hopefully catch some home runs on the Budweiser patio.
They're also the most unique stadiums, right? Everyone can have a different layout in a different stadium. It's not all like one uniform.
Different
field.
Layout, different gitches that makes your stadium unique, different measurements to the wall in the different sections of the park. And it's so much fun. I truly love going to baseball games. We went to a Fred Nats game this past season. My work did a whole thing where everyone from work bought tickets. So we monopolized this outfield standing room only bar right above the bullpen. We got to talking to some of the pitchers. We were having a good time, and the pitchers started talking to us, and then they were throwing balls up to us at the end of it. It's just, baseball it's a beautiful game, and it's so much fun to watch, and you get some good friends. And I truly do believe that it's the perfect mix of socializing and competitive play, right? You have the downtime in between innings, and then you're right back there watching the game. And in Asheville, we took that stadium over.
We 100%.
Our small group of dudes took that stadium over, and we had the whole stadium eaten out of the palm of our hands. It's so much fun.
In our steroid user jerseys.
Yeah, and we saw and on theme, we saw some home run balls get cranked out of that park.
It's also a really short
ballpark. Was tiny.
Yeah, but I'm convinced some of them haven't come down yet. I'm convinced some of those haven't come down yet. But yeah, give me baseball in the 2-hole. And then number 1's hockey, because at any given moment, you could have a fight break out. You could have some douchebag take your seats and do the whole "these are my seats" routine.
That was the most Larry David moment of my life.
I know the move, pal.
I was 100% correct.
Was that the Caps game?
Yeah. That was when we went for the birthday weekend.
The Senators game? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think something, Stevie, that you missed was hockey arenas are always the perfect climate.
That's true.
Like, it always feels so nice and refreshing in a hockey arena, right? It's a nice little chill. I know exactly what I can wear to every hockey game. T-shirt, hoodie, jersey, slacks or jeans, and I'm good to go. And I know I'm going to be comfortable in that arena. But I mean, that's a sport where you got guys that are giving it their all for 1 to 2 minutes every shift, throwing themselves at each other, throwing themselves into the boards. Hockey is an incredible sport, and it's always going to be my number 1 favorite to watch, day in and day out. I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, so I have one honorable mention. It is horse racing.
Here we fucking go.
Going to a horse race is awesome. The
how many horse races have you been to? And 2, how many
the Gold Cup
of those races that you've been to have you actually seen a horse?
The Gold Cup.
So I've been to several because they run one every year in Charlottesville, and I saw a horse during that. I also went to the Carolina Cup one year. I saw a horse once.
I saw a horse.
And I went to the Carolina Cup in South Carolina. Bumfuck.
Yes,
South
I actually
Carolina.
I actually pass that venue every time I go to one of our sites.
Nick, you probably have some insane like Roger Rabbit type suits that you wear to these things.
Oh, I mean, I feel like now I could dress up better than I did when I was younger, because it was like you just don't have the,
because you were poor.
Well, yeah, exactly. You're poor, and I can't be like, let me buy this blazer for $50 off the internet, because you don't have $50. But horse races, awesome. I love that you can dress up however the hell you want. I did run into a couple notable people. Joe Harris, walked by him.
Okay.
Anthony Gill and London Parentis, I walked out with them when we were leaving the race one time, so I was able to do that. But no, horse races is just a lot of fun because of that, just the social aspect of, it's like a garden party. You get to pretend that you're wealthy for hours on hours and just
to pretend you're wealthy is crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you are you gonna slip in polo into like a honorable mention with the horses?
I almost put polo as well. I've been to a polo match.
King's Family Vineyards, man.
Correct.
Out in Charlottesville.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And what I liked was how informal it was. And you're sitting there, unobstructed views because there's not like stands. You're sitting in your lawn chair. You're drinking their wine, which King's Family has very good wine, by the way.
Shout
out. And you're
not an ad.
No.
Wish it was.
And it just kind of, it was unique, right? I believe polo, like the people on the horses, is called the Sport of Kings. I want to say that as its nickname. So it's to me, it was such a unique experience. I'm glad I did it. I never thought I would.
You never went to any up in Middleburg? That seems like it would be something right up your alley. The horse races and the polo matches up in Middleburg.
Nope, I never went to those. But I would love to go. I would go to more horse races. I loved it.
New Kent's got a track.
The whole stuff with it that goes.
That
with
is
it.
What is it? A
Colonial Downs, maybe.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Casino.
It's a
racetrack.
It's a no. God, it's
his mother was a mother.
Qualifier for the Kentucky Derby.
Really? Yes, but no, I do.
Good job.
I'm a big fan of the horse racing and all the things that go with it. Number 5 is golf. I really like golf because of the freedom you have as a fan is unmatched in any other sport. You can sit there and be like, I'm going to watch this one hole with Brooks Koepka teeing off, and then I'm going to decide to just walk over here and watch Justin Thomas tee off. And then I'm going to walk over here and watch whoever, anyone I want. And then I'm just going to follow this group for 3 holes. There's no other sport where you have the flexibility to do that.
Yeah.
And it's pretty amazing. I love the, all the atmosphere with it too. It's fun. There's a lot of people. It's just so almost relaxing, but yet you're doing stuff the whole time. It's stimulating. And when you watch it on TV, a lot of people go, I can't watch golf. It's so boring. But when you are constantly moving and going to different spots to watch someone hit, it's nowhere near as, quote, boring. Obviously, it's not boring to us on TV, but to the layman that it would be boring to, it's not as when you are moving from place to place, going throughout the course and being able just to see the courses. It is as unique as any experience you could have as a fan. So golf's number 5. Number 4 is football. I just lumped them all together. Obviously, I prefer college football over the NFL because of obvious reasons, like you guys have brought up, with like the traditions, the pageantry, the fact that I know, Kamala, you didn't go to a school that had a football team, but the fact that like Stevie and I did, it means a little bit more than like our favorite NFL team because we are a part of it, even though we never got on the field, right, and suited up for them. We're still a part of that organization. Truly,
well,
right? We're alumni of that.
I was waiting for it. I was fucking
what
waiting
did you say?
for it.
I said you suited up.
I was
had to give the suit right back.
Number 110, by the way. 110 for 3 days. But I was never out there on Saturdays in the fall, right? So, it's even though you're not out there for that, it's still a part of you, and that is such a different feeling. Like I would, even before UVA was actually, let's say, good, right? They were 10-2 this year, is the greatest year ever, almost. But even before that, I would choose to go to a UVA game before I would go to an NFL game, unless it was like a game in Jarrett World. Like, and someone said, I'm giving you tickets to Jerry World in Dallas, right? Other than that, I don't care about going to a Washington game, a Panthers game, even though the Panthers stadium I really enjoyed. It's I thought beautiful and so clean. I still
Expensive.
well, that's how they keep it so nice, right? I still would always pick a college game over that just because of that. But football, number 4 for me. But the top 3 here for me is just massive separation from the group. These are easily the top 3. Number 3 is baseball, right?
Respect.
Any level of baseball. I love going to a baseball game. Part of that is because of how much of a nerd I am, not just in sports, but baseball in general. Understanding certain things that to the naked eye or the lay person is just, inconsequential. But that
You
I
usually
enjoy.
have a cheek full of seeds, and you're filling out your box score right there.
I am that asshole who would love to sit at a baseball game and keep score on the thing, right?
I think you've done it at every game I've gone to.
No, I haven't done it in a while.
Maybe
but
not
I
a
do remember
Orioles game, but Orioles games you did.
Just a quick story. I do remember at a Nationals game, we had gone to bottomless margarita
that's
brunch.
a story.
And everyone who showed, this was like 15 people too who went. There's a lot of people who went to this brunch. Everyone is rip shit wasted when they get to the stadium. And me and the boy decide to keep score as we are still pounding 24-ounce Miller Lite, sitting in the only place with sun in the right field nosebleeds in the whole goddamn stadium in Nats Park. And it took two of us, because one person couldn't have done it. It took the two of us to keep score. And at the end of the game, we looked back at it and we had done it correctly with the correct number of strikeouts and all the things. We had done it correctly when we looked back at the official box score, but it took two. And we also lost several people that day.
I was going to say, we're the only two that were in our seats the whole time.
Correct. Everyone
else
my wife, Jordan, we were the only 3 people out of that 15-person crew who survived and sat there the whole game in the direct sunlight, chugging Miller Lite Tall Boys and keeping score. But that
was a great day. I love that story.
I had to see the bill at the end of that game. Holy.
The bottomless margarita brunch was not that it was like $35, I think, for bottomless margarita.
And that's in DC, next to the stadium.
Right in Navy Yard.
Yes, but
that was before the Navy Yard got built up, though.
Yeah. One of the great things with baseball when you're watching it in person is its pace, right? And so it is decried so much about how slow baseball is, right? But when you are in person watching it, that's part of the best experience of it, is that you can have conversations and talk, and it is a get together. And you can't necessarily do that at other sports where things are moving so fast, like a basketball game. You can't afford to have that conversation. You got to watch what's happening, right? So, being able to do that and the leisurely
romantic about baseball.
Yes, the leisurely pace of play with baseball, and like the boy said, how every ballpark's unique and all the things that go into it. I love baseball. Like I'd go to a game every day if I could. Number 2 is NASCAR. Man, do I love NASCAR.
You love
NASCAR.
You can't talk to anybody there, though.
The vibration.
I don't give a shit about that.
Cars.
NASCAR is an experience that every person needs to have. Whether you like it or not and want to come back or not, doesn't matter. It's one of those things that every human being should experience once in their life. It is insane. It is, I compared it to like a redneck horse race, but it's almost like more than that. It's crazy because the number of people that are there, the fact that they allow you to bring, I believe it is 32 or 36 cans,
and they don't really count
in a soft sided cooler. That's it. You can bring all your alcohol in there, right?
And you can go back out to your car and load up again.
Yep. And besides that, watching the cars and everything in person is one of those things that TV does not do it justice. It is so cool. Even the smell. Like some people hate the smell, like the burning rubber. Mm-hmm. Just seeing and smelling that. If you're close enough, you can feel the pellets coming off of the tires, hitting you in the stands, right? It is crazy to see it in person compared to what you see on TV, because it almost blows your mind that, when you see something going that fast on TV, especially when they show it, right? Because they want all the cars in the picture. Yeah. It's cool, right? But it's cool on the level of like, oh, little kid cool with like Matchbox cars, right? But when you're an adult, seeing it in person after driving a car as well, like after being a licensed driver, and you see how fast these guys are going, how close they are, and just everything goes into it. Even the pit stops are much more insane in person, like how fast they're moving.
And when you see the bank of the turn,
yes,
and you realize how steep that is,
or when you go on the track after the race and you realize how steep it is because your friend rolled down the hill on it.
Jesus Christ!
But yes, all these little things that go
after
into
he was rip pissed drunk.
Well, I mean,
and it's probably sunburnt too.
36 beers, you gotta.
Sunburnt,
what are you doing
dehydrated,
here?
hammered.
Yep. All the hits,
rolling down
all the
the
good
embankment.
Ones. Yep. But all of those things you can't fully appreciate on TV. But when you see it in person, you go, wow, this is something. Like I want to come back to that. I would go to so many NASCAR races. It was, even if I'm not bringing in 36 beers to
It's
drink,
so
I would still
impressive
want to
that
go to a
Michael
NASCAR race.
Jordan goes to bought a team, sponsored a team, and goes to every single race.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you go once and you can get hooked easy. Like it makes you want to come back for more. It is so unique in so many ways. And number one is hockey. I've been adamant hockey is easily the best sport to watch in person. And it kind of, a lot of the same reasons for NASCAR, right? When you're watching it on TV, especially if you haven't been watching hockey your whole life, there are some little nuances and rules that you may not understand and make it hard to follow on the television. When you're in person, you can follow it very clearly. And when you're in person, the appreciation for the speed and the skill and just the overall atmosphere of everything that's happening, right? When it's almost dead quiet and you're hearing the ice screech and scrape as they're cutting, and all those things are so cool that you don't get in person. I don't know how many people that we brought to a hockey game for the first time and that don't know anything about hockey and never would have gone otherwise and go, holy shit, where has this been my whole life? Like, almost eye-opening. Like, cannot believe how cool it is in person. Hockey is easily the best sport to watch in person. And again, it's one of those things, just kind of like NASCAR. It's hard to fully put into words and perspective just the difference of watching it on TV versus in person.
100%.
It also has the best atmosphere of the professional sports, like, or the major professional sports, like basketball, NBA atmosphere, NFL atmosphere, based MLB atmosphere. Like hockey, to me, has the best atmosphere.
It doesn't matter if your team's in first place or last place. That arena will be sold out, and people will be screaming, "Go, my team, go!"
Yeah. Really, it is a sight to behold. It's an experience. Just like NASCAR, I believe everyone needs to have at some point is going to a hockey game, just seeing what it's like. Because also going back to like some of those, little intricate rules that there are, when you are in person, it's such a great experience that you don't need to know or understand those rules. And you still have the ability to turn to someone and ask the question, right? There's still enough stoppages, there's still enough time to allow you that. But you also don't need to, because just everything that goes on allows you just to enjoy what you are seeing, the spectacle of what it is, and the fan experience, right, is second to none for that sport. So hockey, easily my number one. Anything else before we move on to our last segment? That's going to take us to our last segment, which is what to look for. Brought to you as always by VB Cookie Co. Looking for the perfect way to stand out at the next event you are hosting? Well, custom cookies are a timeless way to have everyone still buzzing even after they leave. Look no further for your cookie needs than VB Cookie Co. Follow them on Instagram at VB Cookie Co. and message them to order yours today. Whether it is a bridal shower, birthday, engagement, or baby shower, their team will work with you to make all your cookie dreams come true. VB Cookie Co. for the sweetest moments. Boy, give the people something to look for.
All right, so on Saturday, let's just go through Saturday's slate of college football. We have Miami, Texas A&M at noon. This is part of the college football playoff, by the way. Tulane and Ole Miss, also the college football playoff. That's at 3:30. We have the Brawl of the Wild FCS semifinals. That is Montana versus Montana State. Big rivalry game. That's at 4 o'clock. JMU at Oregon at 7:30, part of the college football playoff. And then the other semifinal in the FCS, Illinois State versus Villanova at 7:30. By the way, that is an unranked team versus, I think, the number 12 12th ranked team in Villanova. So Cinderella stories all around. Take that, all you big college football personalities.
Now, boy, well, before Kamala goes to the FCS level, I have some stuff here. So it's the Brawl of the Wild round 2, because they had this earlier this year. Montana at Montana State. That can't be discounted. It's in Bozeman. Like you said, 4 p.m. Saturday. It's on ABC. This is for a place in the FCS championship. It's the 125th all-time meeting between the two teams, but it is the first time they have ever faced each other in the FCS playoffs. And like you said,
That's
boy,
crazy.
Yes, the winner will face the winner of Illinois State and Villanova, who last week, like you said, boy, both went on the road and pulled upsets over UC Davis and Tarleton State, respectively. Yes, as much as the FBS, there's a lot of stuff to look for there with the playoffs starting. That FCS stuff that's going on is just as palpable.
100%.
Kamala?
For me, it's going to be the NCAA volleyball championships. Like Stevie said earlier, we're in the Final Four, and we'll be playing Pittsburgh on December 18th at 6:30. And then 30 minutes after that match is over, you'll have Wisconsin playing Kentucky. It's going to be so much fun to watch. And then on the 21st, the finals will happen.
Is that neutral site?
It's Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes.
Okay,
It should be.
gotcha.
Yeah, Final Four and championship will be neutral site at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. But yeah, so I think that's what I'm looking forward to because, like I said earlier, that the A&M Nebraska match got me hooked, and I want to see how this all wraps up. I'm super into it, so that's what I'll be looking forward to.
Very good. You bastards basically took all the things that I had.
Sure, let's go first.
I will say, though, luckily I take enough notes here. One that was not mentioned, boy, was the Friday night college football playoff game between Alabama and Oklahoma at the Palace on the Prairie in Norman. Very compelling in a lot of ways. First off, it's a rematch of that good game that happened in Tuscaloosa, right? And so it's very cool that we get to see basically these two powerhouses play a home and home. How rare is that? It's amazing, right? But second, the winner of this plays Indiana. And as much as we love Indiana, and I will, you'll never want to explicitly bet against Signetti, it does feel like, doesn't it, boy, that the winner of this game would have an inside track to get to the Final Four. Almost sets them up because, no, here's why. That game against Indiana is a neutral site at the Rose Bowl.
I understand that's a neutral site.
So it almost
I don't care.
It almost hurts Indiana with the fact that they're playing Alabama or Oklahoma, not at their home place, but essentially a neutral site game on the road.
I don't care. I think Indiana is so much better than those two schools. If Oklahoma beats Alabama, I can't see Oklahoma scoring more than 10 points against Indiana.
No, I couldn't.
And if Alabama wins, I think Indiana just controls the game because, Alabama can't run the football. I think Indiana is a 2-touchdown favorite against those schools.
There's a lot of logical things from a football standpoint, but we are also forgetting the psychological standpoint of the fact that
they just beat Ohio State.
I know, but right, we're still talking, and again, this is illogical based off of what we've seen. But the fact remains that you are going to be Indiana playing Alabama or Oklahoma. So there needs
Kurt Signetti doesn't care.
I know he doesn't.
That's not how he does it.
Because
Indiana wins by 2 scores.
I believe his quote when he took the job and talked to the student body in the university at the basketball game was, "I've taken a backseat to nobody in my entire career, and I don't intend to start now. Deuce sucks, and so does Michigan and Ohio State," and walked off the court. And so, yes, as much as I would be vehemently rooting for Indiana, and I do believe in everything he's done and everything that you're saying and all the praise we heaped on Fernando Mendoza, and all those things are true and genuine and are backed up by results. Let's be honest. It just feels like it sets up for a letdown.
Maybe in your mind, you're looking at that. When I saw that bracket come out, I said Indiana's rolling. Like Indiana's going to roll past the winner of Oklahoma, Alabama. I don't think they're close. I really don't.
I want that to happen. It's hard for me to see it. And as you know, boy, it's not because
you're succumbing to brand bias here. Can't do it.
Correct,
you can't do it.
But also at the end of the day, too, it's like when you have that March Madness game where it's not the opening rounds, but it's like the Elite Eight. And
when you get that breather.
Exactly. You get that team who was preseason ranked 4, but they're a 5 seed, and they're playing the number 1 seed,
But
and they wind
yeah,
up
but
beating
I
them.
don't.
It
Yeah,
feels
but
like that. It feels like
to
that
you
me.
it does. To me, it doesn't.
But
If that was like Georgia or like a
mm,
Texas, then I'd say
no,
okay,
Texas,
like Texas.
I have less faith in them than I do those 2 teams
I don't.
in terms of, yeah.
I
But
have no faith in Alabama, and I don't think Oklahoma's offense is good enough to score against Indiana.
yeah, again, based off of what we've seen, what you're saying is completely logical. But we also know that it's 18 to 23-year-old kids.
Indiana did just lose their star defensive tackle for the rest of the year, which is a big blow.
Yeah. So I think that Alabama Oklahoma game, especially that night, only game on probably on that Friday night.
Well, there's some bowl games. By the way, there's a bowl game on right now. Troy versus Jack
Yes,
State,
there
the
is.
real battle for Alabama.
Woo! In Montgomery, Alabama, who wouldn't want to be there at the
The IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl.
8-5 versus 8-5? It's everything we want in college football, right?
I love it.
Yes, it is. Anything else before we wrap this up?
No, sir.
So that's going to do it for us here at What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. As always, for the boy Stephen Vesci and the man Stephen Comlow, I am the coach Nick Vesci. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials. That's on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at WCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And all this information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. Don't forget, be decent to each other, have a good one, and we will see you next time. Take care, Guatemala.